Are you familiar with a person by the name of Deshone Elliott, sir?
Deshone Elliott was a guy who played safety for the Miami Dolphins last season. Herb,
And
what's going on, man? What's going
hey
on?
man, hey man,
What's going on, dog?
what's going on is the worst thing that happened in sports in the past 5 to 10 years, bro, which is player podcasts, bro. I hate these niggas on podcasts. I hate it. And again, it's a nigga with a rock throwing at a glass stone. I get it. I'm telling professional football players that I hate them doing podcasts on our podcast, right? We all have a voice. We all have the opportunity to lend our voices. But the problem is that these niggas are not doing podcasts for the real reason why you do a podcast, which is to actually be insightful. They just want to get ad revenue. And when you want to get ad revenue, you say stupid shit to get people to click on it. And my dumb ass clicked on it. Hey, you got me, bro. I'm sorry. But these niggas are professional jump out the window ass niggas, bro. Who is Deshaun Elliott to say anything? I don't. We do a Dolphins podcast. I don't think I mentioned that nigga name one time, dog. I don't ever remember mentioning Deshaun Elliott in any conversation we've ever had. And we've been doing this in some sort of fashion for 12 years, Rod. Deshaun Elliott has never came out of my mouth till today.
And it's not for his play.
And again, it's not for his play. I didn't know the nigga was on the Ravens.
Me neither. He was a very forgettable player that we had last year.
So
Very forgettable.
we don't care about what he says, but we kind of do. Because I do want to get your opinion only because that was a narrative that was slowly attached to the Dolphins last season. And now you have somebody that used to play for that team with that narrative saying it out of his own mouth. So that's why I want your opinion before we get out of here. So, and they say in comedy, there's truth behind a joke. Do you think there was truth behind what he was saying?
If I had to sum it up in 4 words, Herbie, I would say right message, wrong messenger. Right? Because I'll be honest with you, I don't think he's wrong about what he said. Like, as a you got to think about it from this perspective as a fan. We watched the Dolphins last season. Like, this season is a complete flip of last season, right? Because this season the Dolphins have to climb their way back to even have a chance to make the playoffs. Fuck the division. The division, you can't even dream about that shit. But they have to fight just for like a 7 spot. Last season, Herbie, the Dolphins were a team. Let's just talk about facts. The Dolphins had beaten only one team with a winning record. Some people put some stock into that more than others. The Dolphins last season had a division lead for just about the entire season. And when they had an opportunity to take the number 1 seed, well, they lost 56 to like 20 something. When they had an opportunity to clinch the division at home last game of the season, they go on and they choke away, the division title and have to freaking go to Kansas City in one of the coldest games in NFL playoff history and proceeded to, outside of one Tua bomb, completely flame the hell out. So when Deshaun Elliott talks about the team being soft as fuck, when he talks about the team having a lot of mentally, like, of course there are going to be some mentally tough guys, but he felt like there weren't a lot of mentally tough guys. I don't know if I can disagree with that statement, given the fact that when you see the Dolphins, at least last season, this year, they're a different animal. Listen, everybody, I always believe, Herbie, that every year you have a chance to renew the script. Every year you have a chance to change the narrative. Every year you have a chance to prove people wrong. So last season, they were a mentally weak team. Now, is that going to be the case going into this season? Who knows? I don't know. But based on what he said, I don't disagree with what he said, Herbie, but it's just like Deshaun Elliott and everybody, like one of the players on our team, Nick Needham, was just like, man, who was soft? Like, you saying like the team was soft, like, you know what I'm saying? Put a name on it. Hell, Mike McDaniel didn't give a damn. Mike McDaniel was just like, oh, cool. You said that on a podcast? Cool podcast, bro. Like, that's kind of half how I feel about it too. It's just like, okay, but to be honest with you, Herbie, Deshaun Elliott is not really saying anything that most people weren't already thinking, right? It's just the fact that since he played for the team, for him to take that kind of shot. If you ask me my opinion, he must have some beef with some niggas on the Dolphins, bro. Because I just feel like it's odd for him to just call the team out the way he did. Like there's something that happened that he didn't like, and he been waiting to get this off his chest. But if you ask me, Herbie, he didn't say anything that like him saying that like I'm not offended. I'm just like, you know what, he's kind of right. Because I watched these niggas completely choke away, outside of maybe one or two games that I felt like maybe officiating here, misfortune here. But for the most part, the Dolphins choked quite a bit last year, Herbie. So, and that's mental weakness, if you ask me.
I'll leave on this note. Even if you're right, you got to be good enough to say it, bro. Like, you can't
right,
be the
right
fifth,
message, wrong messenger. That's why I started with that. That's why I started with that.
The fifth safety on the depth chart saying shit like that. Nigga, you don't even have the opportunity to be mentally weak. You're never on the field. I don't even know what you would do in this situation. I don't see your jersey. Your jersey's clean. There's no dirt on it, bro. I don't know about with the Ravens, but I know with the Dolphins, your jerseys were clean. That white was pristine. That shit was cocaine white.
He was hurt a bunch of times last year, if memory is certainly correct. Anyway, like he wasn't even on the field. Like he talking like he was making plays every game.
Ed Reed say that. Troy Polamalu could say that.
Brian Holland.
Javon Holland, all pro, can say that. Niggas like him, like from a professional athlete, it sounds crazy for me to say that to a professional athlete. You got me there. You got me there, bro. I'm just a nigga in this room talking shit. But my nigga, by professional standards, and I'm comparing you to your peers, nigga, who are you to say some shit like that, bro? I don't give a fuck if you're right. Like, you niggas are not good enough to be talking like this from the sideline, bro. Like, for real, you niggas are not good enough to be talking like this from the sideline, bro. That's why you had to do your talking on a fucking player podcast. And with that, man, we will see y'all on Sunday, man. See y'all on Sunday, man.
Deuces. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Deuces, man.